Whatever your brand of different is, there's someone that likes it. There's someone that's going to love you. You don't have to change anything.
Welcome to Love Letters to Joy, a series where we explore our guest's personal relationship with joy through intimate, one-on-one conversations. Join us as we delve into thought-provoking themes essential for a joyful life, inspiring you to cultivate a joy mindset through self-reflection, shifts in perspective, and healthier habits. I'm your host, Zoe Smiles. Our guest today is Eno Georgette Inwek, and our theme is embracing your weird. Eno Georgette Inwek is an author, speech coach, and self-care advocate. Her mission is empowering others. Eno Georgette is the founder and CEO of Lyrics of Hope, a people empowerment and custom apparel company. Her series of children's books focus on anti-bullying, self-advocacy, and self-expression. Eno Georgette's highly rated children's book, titled I Am Confident: How to Stand Up for Yourself and Others, is available now on Amazon. I'm actually excited to have you on today because the kind of conversations that we have are fun. And I want to know why you chose Be Weird as a topic you wanted to talk about.
I'm excited that you thought I'd be a good fit for this. I'm excited beyond words. Why did I think being weird would be a good subject? Because it kind of centers around the kind of thing that we talk about, being comfortable in our own skin, and even just the fact that we say be weird, but really the definition of weird has a bad note to it, right? It sounds bad, but really and truly, we're talking about being different. And your weird is different from my weird. And it's about finding other weirdos and making sure, making sure that you own that thing that people call weird, but it's really you being different. So I thought that because of my own personal struggles with doing a lot in my life to run away from being labeled weird and recognizing that being weird was the thing I should be running towards in the first place, I thought, of course I want to do this segment. Why not?
Yes. I'm so happy that you used the word weirdo. It's like my favorite word. It's so good. I actually use the word weirdo, and I've had people in my life call me weird and say I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
And in the past, it did bother me.
Percent.
Now, I'm not saying I wear it with pride, but I do. I call myself a weirdo all the time.
100%.
Like, if you don't think I'm a weirdo, I must be off today. Something is wrong. I'm like, why aren't you showing up, Zoe? Why aren't you showing up?
You're doing a whole lot to blend in at that point.
Mm-hmm.
How much can you really accomplish as an individual if you're trying to fit everywhere you go?
Correct. No.
Just be weird.
Yeah.
Let's just be weird.
Let's be weird. None of us should actually fit completely comfortably. Comfortably? Yeah, comfortably.
That was well said.
Yeah, in the spaces that we enter. There should always be a little bit of pushback. Not that it's a bad pushback.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I don't fit here.
I don't fit here. Exactly.
I'm not a good fit.
Yeah.
But think about how many times many people spend trying to fit wherever they go. How many personalities do you have to develop trying to fit in every space you go?
Yep.
That's tiring.
Yeah, it actually reminds me of selling. For me personally.
Oh.
Yeah, when I first sold, I had this was so long ago. Okay, it was like 18 years ago. It was a while ago. So the first time I did an event, I didn't sell one thing. And it's because I was trying to sell. Like, I remember I'd watched like a lot of videos about like how to sell.
You're very academic about it.
How to 101. Well, I mean, I am a Ravenclaw, so y'all don't know the Harry Potter reference, look it up. But I did all my research and I showed up. Nothing. And so it happened the second time. And I said, what am I doing wrong? And then the third time I said, you know what? I can't do this. I'm just going to have to just be me and we'll see what happens. I sold so much that day. I was shocked.
What were you doing differently?
Literally just being myself. Instead of doing what someone told me I should do when someone approached, I just showed up. Like, naturally, I like people. Naturally, I'm caring. It's like you. Naturally, you're kind.
You didn't have to turn anything on.
Yeah, I was on. This is me waking up. And if you like it, that's great. And if you don't like it, that's okay.
And your audience came to you.
My audience came to me, and there's been places where I have shown up just as myself,
Yeah.
and it doesn't work. And then I just get to say, oh, this space is not for me.
Not a good fit for it.
And that's okay.
But you know, we don't do that typically. We really walk around making ourselves wrong for not fitting because we receive that as some sort of rejection. And the fact of the matter is, in many instances, when I found myself in those places, those people are actually, in many cases, unremarkable. But here I was trying to make myself fit into this unremarkable, unexciting, mediocre space.
Ooh.
What? Like, can we just not do that?
Yes.
I think that comes with time, right? It comes with time and consciousness, not just time, but you have to be aware that that's what's happening because there's a level of suffering that comes from going into a space and looking for that level of validation. I want you to love me. I want you to like me. We do it in many spaces. We do it at work. We do it in a relationship, with friendships. And as soon as a friend says, you're being weird. Oh my God. How can I fit in? Let me be small so that they don't see me as weird. This unremarkable person see me as weird. You know how much exhaustion that takes to be able to fit into this weirdo space, like in this non-weirdo space?
Non-weirdo space, yeah.
Let's not do that.
It's amazing that you can become exhausted by trying.
It's exhausting. Young people looking at you like puppets, like, hey, can you just do this to make me feel comfortable? Don't dim your light so that I don't shine. Have you ever been, let me ask you this, have you ever been in a relationship, friendship, engagement with someone who is not inspiring to you, but they found a way to look down on you?
Well, I actually had something happen. It was last year. And it happened with a friend of mine who I'm still a friend with. I love her. She's actually amazing. But in this
I like
one,
the beginning of this.
no, but well, I know you asked me.
No,
but
she's actually amazing.
She is. No, it's not even a but.
Okay.
She's actually amazing. In this one space,
Okay.
we don't agree.
Got it.
We both have our differing opinions. And so I was going through a program, and they told me that I need to start calling myself founder and CEO.
Okay.
And so there are a few people that are really close to me who I contact when I'm going through spaces of transition and just talking out. And so I remember her saying, oh, if you put CEO, that sounds really pretentious. And I trust what she says, and I still do.
That didn't resonate with you.
Didn't resonate with me. So I had to trust myself more and say, Zoe, you're a CEO.
Right.
Like, how you're not being pretentious. That's like saying I'm being pretentious because I say my name is Zoe. Oh, she had the audacity to say her name was Zoe. Look at her being full of herself. That's my name.
Imagine.
I'm a CEO. I'm a CEO, and that's okay to say. And so that was definitely challenging to go through the experience of recognizing, okay, in this space, this space only, every other space, we good. But this space only,
it's not a safe space.
It's not a safe space for this. I'm going to have to rely on myself and other people who see me in that capacity so that I can start being comfortable with it. Because you can't really claim these parts of yourself that you might actually be working at uncovering.
100%. 100%.
If the people around you don't say, oh, I love that right there. Can you move that blanket off a little bit more? Let me see the rest of that. Let me see the rest. Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
What happens if people around you don't do that? What's the consequence of that?
I think the consequence is limited experience or limiting experience. There's two different things. Yeah. So limited experience is my choice of saying, okay, I'm going to shift what we do, how much we do. Limiting experience is saying, okay, I'm going to stay in this space and become smaller. And as you said, you can get smaller and 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 smaller, trying to be okay.
Trying to fit in.
with what these other people think you should do or want you to do. Or you can just say, actually, the door's right there and I'm going to take it. But because I know we're good at 4 p.m.,
Yeah.
I'll be back. But you ain't going to see me before 4. Yeah, bye. It's okay.
When you talked about the fact that the person said that what you were trying to call yourself, which is, I'll call it a vision, how you saw yourself, this transformation that you're getting ready to make could be seen as pretentious. I thought to myself how, just culturally speaking in different spaces, a lot of us are taught to be humble.
Mm.
And what it looks like for another person, and this humility is not something that's is not organic to us sometimes, or it's not, the definition is so broad and it's all over the place, but what it takes for another person to see you as humble sometimes is what they need to feel safe.
Yes, I agree with that.
That's another act that sometimes we have to put on. When you do the thing, how much adjustment do we have to make to do the thing that will make them feel like, okay, you're enough now?
Too much adjustment.
That's just too much. That's too much. I promise you, I'll continue to say this and I'll die on this hill, that unremarkable people are responsible for people's low self-esteem. Like, that's what's going to happen time and time. For someone to tell you, that's pretentious of you, that means that they were comfortable with you right here. And anything above that, CEO, how dare you? But you are the CEO and founder of it. But how dare you acknowledge that you're bigger than the place that I put you on, Zoe? How dare you? No, that's pretentious.
You know, it's so funny. I just dared. I was like, how dare I? I dared. I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it.
I think that's somebody else's low self-esteem. You might not want to say that because it's your friend, but sometimes I think you have to say the thing that it is, because being humble enough for someone else to see you requires you to dim down or to dumb down so much of your gifts that it's a shame. It's a shame.
I can understand that. And I do think that we find those kind of experiences at multiple stages of our lives,
Child.
in multiple relationships in our lives,
100%.
in relationships that we recognize are valuable relationships. And so we have to say, okay, I'm going to honor what I see.
Yeah.
And either honor what I see and make adjustments
100%.
in how I show up and when I show up, or honor what I see and pretend it's not there.
Right.
Yeah. And that's not honoring.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not.
See it, know it, and, act accordingly. Yeah.
When you said that we have these experiences in different phases in our life, and I remember, I thought to myself, she's absolutely right, because I remember someone that I loved dearly, dearly, that I thought was on the same page as me, we're going places, and the person pretty much told me that you're not accomplishing anything that I think you should be doing at this pace. You're not enough. What you're doing is not enough.
You, Georgette, not enough?
No, I know. But there's such a thing as somebody telling you something that is wrong, with someone telling you something that they feel is wrong about you right at a time when you're not feeling good about yourself. And if that happens at the right time, they will affect the trajectory of your journey of what's possible for you, I should say. And that's when I realized sometimes you have to make sure that you give people the right amount of access to what you're trying to do, because if you tell the wrong person what you're trying to accomplish at a time when your self-esteem is not where it's supposed to be, it's done. It's done. Right?
Been there, done that.
So we have to always encouraging ourselves, because sometimes it can be someone, it can be me, right? I'm always telling you what's possible. But if you come on a day where I'm feeling grumpy or too wise to recognize that I don't need to kill your dream, and you say, hey, Trisha, I want to build a shop right next to mountain, I don't know, Kilimanjaro or whatever. And I say, that's dumb.
Which generally you'd be like, Kilimanjaro, that sounds amazing. That's good.
Right? But you have to recognize that, this person's having an off day, or today's not the day. But sometimes that type of language from someone you care about can kill your dream. Right?
That's true. And that's why I do think it's really important when you do recognize that you're having a conversation that delves a little deeper than just surface, which hopefully we're having those conversations a lot.
Right.
If you're not in the right mental space, it's okay to say, you know what? I want to hear this.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen for a moment.
Yep.
I'm not going to give you a response right now. Or, you know what? I'm actually excited to hear about this. Give me a moment. Let's talk about this. tomorrow. And I've actually come across that before with really my mom, because we are creative partners.
Yeah.
And we engage a lot in this idea formation.
Yeah.
And there have been times when I am just exhausted.
You're like, not right now.
And I still want to show up. So I show up and she's telling me something. And when I'm a little tired, yeah, I can be a little curt.
Yo.
Yes, I know. It sounds so weird because it's not. And of course, I will say, like, my curtness is not actually like, it's not really that bad. But it's bad if you know me.
I got you.
It's bad if you know me. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, because you know how positive I am.
No, I get it.
So I recognized one time, like, she told me something. And I was like, I mean, I don't know, I guess you could try.
She's like, that's not you.
Well, again, based on where you are.
Right.
Because that was something that was special to her that she was talking about.
And she felt dismissed.
Yeah. And then she was like, oh, so you don't really think it's a good idea? I'm like, I mean, I'm not saying it's not a good idea. Just, that was not the right thing to say. So we did have to go back to that.
Yeah.
And that, again, means that you have to take responsibility for how you show up and be honest with yourself and say, you know what?
Right.
I need to revisit that. And so I revisited it and we were able to talk about it more. It took a couple conversations. Good now. She's working on this beautiful idea that she has, and I'm really proud of her. And that may or may not have happened if I hadn't said,
absolutely,
I didn't show up in a way that honors the different, unique, weird thing that she's trying to do.
Yeah.
And I respect her enough to want to see her flourish and grow and change.
Yeah.
And be a little spontaneous, show them colors. And yeah, so it goes both ways. You can want people to receive you.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to be in a state of mind where you can receive others. And if you recognize that you're not, being able to say, I'm going to have to come back and set that right so that you don't leave someone in a lurch.
I really appreciate the consciousness that you have to say, a loved one was trying to share something with me and I wasn't in those space, but I had the chance or the presence of mind to go back and say, hey, this is not what I wanted for you. And we uncovered it. We got to the bottom of it. Several conversations later, we have, made amends, and now this thing is growing. Because I think a lot of people, it takes a lot for someone to do that. And many people don't take it upon themselves, many people don't take it upon themselves to acknowledge the hurt they might have caused someone. Because we're all people at the end of the day, right? And as much as it was your mom, but she could have taken it to heart and somehow that dream could have died somewhere. Even if you said you were sorry, but if you were dismissive about it, but you went back and you kind of bonded with her in such a way that the dream is coming true at the end of the day. I think that I acknowledge that that's such a very kind thing to do, I should say. And I appreciate that.
Thank you. I mean, the only reason I can do it is because she's shown me how to. I mean, every
practice, right?
Yeah, it's practice. Every positive thing about me comes from her. And sometimes she'll say, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. And I'll say,
like, that's you, Mom.
Yeah, you're the reason why. Where do you think it comes from? Like,
you don't have that though.
I know that. And I appreciate it because of the fact that, originally she was my aunt. Like, she's my aunt and she raised me and my brother and my sister along with my grandmother. And, we had our birth parents in our life and they were present and they gave what they could.
She stepped in.
And all of the goodness in me was put in by this woman who I can now say, that's my mom.
Wow.
And so I do have a lot of respect and appreciation and gratitude because I didn't have to have that.
Yeah.
It could have been something different. 100%. I could have not had an example and then had to look outside for other examples, which is fine. If you don't have something in your home, it's okay to say, this is not what I want for myself. I felt something different in that space over there. And so I'm going to go check that space out and see, see what I can learn from that, see what I can grow from that, see how that individual pours into me, that nurtures me and fertilizes me, and then say, I like that. I think I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah.
No, I like that. I love it.
Oh, I really love talking to you, Georgette.
I like talking to you too. That's how we do all the time. I'm just thinking, but I actually just learned something about you, about your upbringing. I didn't know that.
What, really? You didn't know?
I did not know that that was your aunt.
Yes. Well, I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. I asked her to adopt me. Of course, it's not necessary.
Yeah.
I'm a grown woman. But it was because I would introduce her to people and I would say, this is my aunt.
But in
And they say,
you would say mom, right?
well, before I would say, this is my aunt.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, that's so nice. And I could see in their eyes that they didn't realize the significance this woman had on my life.
Wow.
Because an aunt is like someone you go visit on the holiday. They might like take you out a couple times and, you learn something from them. You may call them once upon a time and say, hey, I'm dating this person.
Right.
But they're not the person who teaches you all your everything, all your life lessons, gives you all your foundation, your character, like all of that stuff. And so one day, because I gave her a poem, I think when I was 11, and it was Mother Without a Title. That was the name of the poem.
Oh, wow.
Just explaining to her that I knew, and I've always known, that she's my mom. That God said, okay, I'm going to put these two people together to create these beautiful beings.
Oh my God.
And these people may not have the capacity to get these beings where they need to be.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put this other person here who is going to love them so much that they're not going to feel like anything is missing. And I got that from my aunt, who I call my mom, and I got that from my grandmother. And so I used to say I have two moms, and people were confused. And so it's just a really beautiful opportunity for me as I've gotten older to acknowledge the history of my family dynamics.
Yeah.
I remember I think it might have been 5 years ago, someone gave me a little ribbon for, I think it's like National, what is it? Not National Foster Day, but there we go, something like that. I think it was like National Adoption Day.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I'm not an adoptee. They said, oh no, but just wear it because it shows. And I put it on to, support the holiday because they wanted me to. And then I realized, wait a second. So you are adopted. Like you've never been formally adopted, but what do you think this is?
Yeah.
You were adopted. And I think there are a lot of us out there of people who come from different circumstances, different dynamics, again, spaces that aren't considered normal. And you either don't think about it because it's normal for you, or you come into a situation where you recognize one day, wow, this
person was intentional about being part of my life.
Yeah, intentional. Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Okay, ask.
When you asked her to adopt you, I want to know, what was her reaction?
I wish I had recorded it. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen come out of my mother's face. She is a very emotional person. And so I've seen all expressions from her. But what I saw that day,
tell me,
it was a mixture of elation, pure bliss, almost like a heavy weight was taken off, which I don't really understand, but I do understand in a way this thing of, I hope I did the right thing. I hope I showed up in the right way. I hope it was okay what I did, because she used to tell me all the time, because when I was really little, I would call her my mom, and she'd say, "I'm not your mother. You have a mother.
Mm.
And you need to remember you have a mother. You have a mother who cares about you. You have a mother who loves you. You have a mother who shows up the way that she can show up. And, despite what my birth parents, may have thought,
Mhm.
like my aunt, who at that time was my aunt in all forms,
Mhm.
always said, my parents love me and care about me. And yeah, they're not showing up how I want them to show up because I feel love is something different, but they're there. They're not there, but they're there. And so
This one is amazing.
that for her to say, okay, I saw it on her face, like, okay, it was okay what I did because I know that she knows she has a mom.
Yeah.
I know that she knows she has a father. I know that she knows she's loved. And in the same breath, she can take me in and say, yeah, you did it though. Like, you did this.
Yeah.
You made me.
She's so powerful. I love that you're saying that she raised you showing up as a mom, but letting you know that you still had one. Again, the conscious mindset that it takes to honor someone else while really and truly doing that person's job.
Yeah.
That's, in my opinion, very, no pun intended, but like godlike.
It is, I will say that it's very unusual.
Very weird.
It is very weird.
Very weird.
It is very weird. And I think that one of the reasons why I do honor the different aspects of myself is because my mom is so different. She's an example of what it means to be in a space that doesn't really understand you and say, well, I'm not changing. I actually like me, love me, and you'll just have to receive it. And my mom is the kind of person who will not go into a different space. She'll
sit there with you and
she's not sitting with you. She actually brings in a full table. It can seat 100. She'll set placemats all around it.
You're welcome to sit at
tables, chairs, all the stuff. Then she'll have catering come in. Everyone in the room is like, who is this woman? We definitely didn't invite her. And then she'll sit down and she'll start saying, hey, Adam, you over there. I see your name tag. You want to go over here and talk? And Adam's like, yeah, you're a little too much for me. She's like, actually, just give us 2 minutes. We'll find a way to connect. And that's what my mom taught me to do, to be able to see people for who they are, their uniqueness, their difference, and then find what I like about them, where I connect with them. And it's one of the reasons why I'm able to connect with people, because I actually like the weird things about people.
Right.
I'm looking at you. I've never seen someone wear like beautiful gem pieces with the beaded ears. Yes, with the signet ring. I mean, if y'all just see this look, it's beautiful.
I appreciate you.
And I love it because it's different. Like, my mom actually taught me to love difference because that's the person. You are getting the honor to see someone express themselves fully. They woke up this morning and they said, I'm showing up as me.
Yeah.
The person that's behind these doors, today you get to see. I'm honored that you let me see that.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I remember when I first came to the US that I've always loved everything about Africa. Any part of Africa. We're not all the same, but I like South Africa, North Africa. I love everything about us, particularly from West Africa. So I've always dressed the part. And for almost 30 years in this country, the first 30 years, you're kind of weird. That's not how we're dressing here today. And I love that the world is into the Afro beats. I appreciate that. I never thought I would see the day. I remember a friend of mine who was Nigerian telling me once, like, hey, we're going to such and such place. Do me a favor. She was from Nigeria. She told me, don't wear that thing you wear on your head, please. Don't wear that. And now that the whole world is up to date with, it's okay to be African and hear this amazing music, by the way. Yeah. I love to see it. But there was a time when just being myself was so painful to other people. And imagine if I had changed who I was and how I dressed and how I showed up to go to places. And then 30 years later, people are wearing wearing African head wraps, saying Wakanda forever with so much pride.
Yeah.
What would I be doing? Wearing what? Right? So I do appreciate those things that are called weird and idiosyncratic because I was just being myself. And guess what? The rest of the world caught up.
So again, we caught up to you. We caught up to you.
Really and truly, that's what we have to do. We have to just pay attention. And even if the person or the rest of the world doesn't, being yourself is probably the best place to just be. Just being yourself. Because that already, in education, we're always taught, and many times we're taught to conform. You go to a church or you're conforming. You go to work, you're conforming. Where is your difference? Where's your different going to be? What is that going to look like? Right?
I don't know. It actually is different for everyone.
It's different for everyone.
Yeah. And asking yourself the question and honoring what you hear
Yeah,
is really important because sometimes what you hear is a little scary.
I agree.
You say, what? That's what I like? What? That's what
Yeah,
I want to do?
yeah,
I don't actually want to do that.
100%.
But inside you're saying, no, actually,
100%.
I do want to do that. Can you let us do that, please?
I
And
agree.
you're like, man, I don't know. But yeah, you have to say yes.
Yeah,
You have to say yes because you're right. If you didn't continue honoring how it is you like to dress,
yeah,
how it is you want to show up in the world, you would now at this point be rediscovering yourself, rediscovering who you actually are
the whole time.
the whole time.
And I already have other areas in life that I'm discovering myself, but sometimes you have to know who you are just on a fundamental place, just from a very basic place, so you can build from that versus, because I've also done the thing where when I was younger, where I've gone into a space, I know how these people need me to be, so I'm going to be this way. I know how these people need me to be. I know that as a preacher's child, I need to be this way. And I was like, wait a minute, but I like to curse. I like to use foul language. I can't fit here, and I have developed all these multiple personalities trying to fit. That got exhausting.
Yeah.
That just got exhausting. But yeah, I give people the grace to be themselves at the same time, recognize that, yeah, I'm okay with this weirdo. That's okay. You quickly realize that weirdo is not the language. Weird is not even the language per se. You're just different and you're doing you, like would say, right? You're just doing your thing. But yeah.
Oh my God, this is exciting. I'm so excited. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. I'm actually really happy right now.
I'm happy, but it's kind of what we always do, right? You were right. It's what we do on random Sunday. We'll just start talking.
Yeah, you guys should hear it actually. That was so good. At the end, we're both always
I see you so much. It was a conversation I didn't know I needed. Yeah.
It's always beautiful. Oh, I actually want to know a moment in your life
Mhm.
where you recognized your own uniqueness and why it's important for you to embrace it.
A moment in my life when I recognized my own uniqueness, I would say it was a journey, but I distinctly remember at the age of 25 when I wanted to start a business, and I started initially a crochet business. And it was rare at the time to see a Black girl with crochet pins and crocheting a scarf and doing all that kind of good stuff. So that was it. But I felt like I wasn't unique enough. And then I wanted to sell things that looked like I would buy them. Keep in mind, there was no Forever 21, and there's not a lot of this cheaply made jewelry at the time. And I thought, I want to sell things that are handmade, unique. And it really boiled down to big, chunky type jewelry. What they would call clunky was too big, and gaudy is the word. Gaudy was the word. It was very gaudy. And I was like, yeah, but it's what I like. And then I had a cousin tell me, people don't really like that. Why don't you lean towards what people will buy? But I didn't like that. They were already at Macy's and JCPenney and all those type of stores. But I decided to take some kind of a metal thing, paint it, put together it looked like a big coin at the time, put together some little hook on it, and those are my earrings. And the response was unbelievable. Now, a lot of people looked at it and were like, oh, wow, that's very weird. That's different. But those that loved it, loved it. And I was like, and I'm not going to lie, even though I created this ugly earring that was so weird, I wasn't as confident as I should have been until the first person that saw it was like, you know what? How much is that? And it should have been $100, but I was so unbelievably shocked that I must have stuttered $30. Like I was open to taking 20. It's like, that's it. And I was like, wait a minute.
When someone says that's it,
Yes.
oh, you
I
know
was
you're
like,
into something.
so I go on to get more of this coin-like thing. I start making more and more, and it was a hit. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with being different. So I went on to start my jewelry business, and I ended up opening a shop, but it was all about gaudy. And it did so well. I had a store, I was online. At the time, what we now know as influencers were talking about my brand on YouTube. And I thought, yeah, the fact that I eventually accepted that this different, weird brand of jewelry that I was doing ends up being a hit. What I quickly found out there was a niche for it. Whatever your brand of different is, there's someone that likes it. There's someone that's going to love you. You don't have to change anything. There's something for someone, right? And I feel like that's when I recognize that, okay, this different, this might work. This might work. Yeah.
And it's actually so scary
It is
that if you had listened to that voice that was outside of yourself, you
100%.
already made it. It's not like you were just starting. You already
Yeah.
had the idea. You executed on the idea, and you could have taken that, put it in a drawer,
I know.
closed it, and you would not have had a business.
I'm 100%.
You would have not have had the success. You would have not have had the experience
Yep.
that comes from being able to execute on a passion,
100%.
seeing the fruit of your labor.
100%. What I haven't also acknowledged, and I'll be remiss if I don't say this, a friend of mine loved what I was doing with the jewelry. And this is before I had the shop. And I wanted the shop, but she was saying, do you think people would like to buy this type of jewelry if you opened a shop with this type of jewelry? And I thought, I think so. It's really picking up. I'm selling at pop-up shops. I'm selling at farmers markets. So she told what seemed to me at the time to be a random guy in Canada who she met at a conference. She said, a friend of mine is trying to build this idea of having this weird jewelry. And he said, I'm looking for someone to invest in.
Wow.
I want to pay it forward. And he sent me the initial money that I needed to open the shop, buy the inventory, and set that all up. Again, I'm not saying it's guaranteed that it's going to work out, but I would have never had that shop if I didn't if I didn't lean in on the thing that said, hey, create this jewelry, create this brand. And that excitement was contagious because that girl saw it and was like, hey, look at what my friend in California is doing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dr. Henry for investing that initial seed in my business.
Thank you,
Dr.
Henry.
I really appreciate that. So I would end up opening a store. And again, sometimes I have to remind myself of that's what it looks like. You build something, they really will come, even though it's weird.
Yeah, but you have to build it.
You have to build it. It doesn't have to be completely up. You just have to start. You have to talk about it. You have to care, right? And you have to be okay with being different.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh, Georgette, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so
Wow. That's actually a really difficult experience
It
to
was.
overcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't even overcome it. You just steamrolled through it. You
Well,
actually,
well, we know how business is, right? Right? We know. We do.
behind the
You know,
scenes,
yeah, and I was a lot to overcome, but it really boiled down to reminding myself that, hey, I had to always remind myself of that first customer that said, wow, this is different. So I thought, what if there are more people that thought? So I had to, you know, you will have self-doubt in trying to be weird sometimes. I'm using the word weird. You're trying to be different. You're trying to do something that's not common. You'll doubt yourself sometimes. You might, right? So I had those moments, right? But I had people that also said, you know what, we want what you're selling. So yeah.
I love that you said you have those moments and you actually have to cling on to those moments where someone says, I believe in you.
100%.
I actually do that. So in my room, like my personal space, there are at least, I would say maybe 30 items of pieces that customers have given to me, things they've either made for me, or little notes that they've written to me
Oh,
saying, hey, I love what you're doing. Hey, you've impacted me. Hey, I want you to know that you're a special person.
wow.
Here is this token. And I've just collected them and I've put them on my wall. I've put them in little places where I can see.
How rewarding.
It's beautiful. And it's to remind myself during those hard times.
Yeah.
So there's hard times, whether you're running a business,
Yeah.
whether you are running your life.
100%.
You
So
get
true.
to those times where you're low and the refueling that you need to do is not able to come from yourself.
You can't.
It's
Sometimes you
so
don't have it.
low. It's so low. And so I do go to prayer. And I also go to the people around me.
Yeah.
There are times when the people who do pour into you are not able
Yeah.
with that moment.
100%.
And so those reminders are me saying, listen, that person and that person and that person, they believe in you.
Yeah. And they see you.
And they see you and you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Because during those times when they gave you those things, you were showing up for yourself.
Absolutely.
So what we're going to do, we're going to put back on those boots.
Yep. Put your crown back on.
Put the crown back on, straighten it up, and go show it for yourself again.
Yeah. I think it does take practice, though. Let's be real, too, because we're human beings first, right? But as I watch people who impress me, who are out there doing their thing, they are leaning more and more into their trust of self, too. At the same time, recognizing that, okay, I can lean on other people, but you have to practice the habit of knowing who you can lean in on. Because like we talked about earlier, there's such a thing as leaning in on the wrong person. If that person says the wrong thing on the wrong day, there goes your dream, right?
And then you have to spend 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years getting to the point where you can start building that dream again.
Let me tell you.
Which is okay.
It's okay, but it didn't have to be that.
Yeah, it didn't have to be
It didn't have to be that, though.
But sometimes that's what life brought based on the actions you took.
I know.
It's always okay to decide today you're going to build.
Sometimes, not all the time, but you can sometimes lean in on the thing that the person said to you that made you think you're not going to do it and think, I'll show you. It's okay to do that too. I remember like 8 years ago, someone told me, you're never going to make it. I don't even think they know what they're talking about.
I don't think they did.
But they were like, you're never going to make it. And they were not talking about just one random project. They're just saying, you're not going to amount to being anybody. I thought you're going to be this keywords. I thought you're going to be someone by now, but you're not. So I'm going to leave you.
Oh, I'm so glad they left.
Child. I was like, but at the time, because of my love for this person, I remember thinking, you knew it all. Like, surely they must see something that I didn't see. There was nothing to see. Like I said, stop being impressed with unremarkable people.
Yeah. Ooh.
Stop giving people credit where it's undeserved. But see, I was in the business of giving grace. Like, listen, I was God in the wrong way.
Well, I definitely give grace. I have learned.
Measure sometimes.
Yes.
Not at your expense.
Yes.
So when this person said those strong words, for the longest time, I was wondering, I didn't ask myself, did you check who it's coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Like they got to make a statement, a blanket statement about who I was not going to be for the next 20, 30 years. It took me a while to realize that I don't get to be impressed by that statement, but it took me quite a while to recover from that.
The recovery, yeah.
It took me quite a while because I really didn't realize how much of myself believed some of what they were saying. We have to be careful.
We do.
Because like I said, people who you're not impressed with can come in and tell you something. This person once told me that they didn't have a passion in life and they were jealous of the passion that I had for life. Did I forget that?
There we go.
I bet you I did.
Mm.
How is a passionless person going to tell me you ain't going to be nobody?
Yeah, someone who has so much passion. Georgette.
Look at me now.
Yes.
Okay.
How much time we got?
Is Zoe interviewing you right now?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Thank you.
And
You know, so sometimes we have to be careful because while I say that in jest, that's the kind of poison that people have been poisoned with in different spaces that they've gone to. And that's how they move. And it's contagious. They in turn will tell you, I don't mean to say this again, but who are you to call yourself a CEO?
that's true. I mean, you are correct. I do hear you. And I actually really appreciate this slogan about unremarkable people. And it's not actually to put other people down. It's to recognize what it is you're choosing.
So unremarkable, really in the true meaning of the word, meaning that you, I really mean it like unremarkable. The person not doing something that is standing out, the person that's not doing something that And even by their own definition of self, right? They're just being, and again, you're right. I'm not saying it as a way to put someone down, but the person, I'm putting it in context of where you're being made to feel less than, or the intention is for them to make you feel less than. And you have to recognize where that's coming from, because there's some people who don't respond to that at all.
What I think about actually is going on a hike recently. So it was a couple months ago, and I'm in Culver City, so there's this place called the Culver
I
Steps.
totally know the place.
You know the Culver Steps?
You know.
know the Culver
You know.
Steps. Okay, so we won't even get into it. Google it. So it's a very intense.
It is.
Straight
Yeah.
incline of stairs, and it goes up this hill. And you think when you start, first minute,
I'll jog up there. That's what I thought.
woo, after that first minute is done, you are just saying, hold on, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Done. And I remember when I had to take breaks, looking back and seeing everyone do their own thing.
Yeah.
People were climbing up those steps.
Running up the
People
stairs.
were running up those steps. Some people were taking the path that allowed you wind.
Yeah, around it.
So you don't have to do the steps, you get to go up.
Yeah,
But
less of an incline. Yeah.
less of an incline, still a workout. Everyone's doing it. And I was so proud. I said, look at all of us out here today. It was a hot day too.
Yeah.
And I remember being so proud of how everyone is showing up in their own ways
Yeah.
to honor themselves. And this young man walked past me, stopped right on the side, and he said, "You're taking a break again?" He said, "What are you even doing here if you're not going to climb?"
Do you know this man?
First of all, no, I did not know him.
There's always one.
He kept walking on the path.
He wasn't going up the stairs.
So I am going up
If that's not remarkable, I don't know what is.
treacherous Culver Steps. And he is walking the path. And why I brought it up is because
That's so
I'm looking at the people who are walking the path and
giving them credit.
wow, you're doing amazing because you're showing
You're outside.
And why I thought about this is because it's not that someone who's showing up in a different way is unremarkable.
Right.
You're unremarkable because you don't see how all of us
Are showing up.
are showing up in our own ways, respecting
That's
who we
wild.
are. I personally think you are amazing, sir, but you don't think I'm amazing.
Your perspective too.
Because you don't see the value in me and you don't appreciate me for who I am, you are unremarkable.
Unbelievable.
And I think that's really what you're saying. It's not
100%.
that someone's unremarkable because they're not doing what you're doing.
100%.
There was a woman I met who, oh, she looks so beautiful. She literally looked like she was ready for a magazine shoot. I just met her 2 days ago. It was very recent. And I said, "You look gorgeous." And my mom was with me and she said, "What do you do for a living?" We knew she had to be a stylist.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Oh, nothing." And then we said, "Well, what did you do?"
Yeah.
We just assumed she was retired. She said, "I've never done anything." There's no way you told this woman thinks she's never done anything. I said, "So you haven't been doing anything your entire life?" And she said, "Well, I was a mom."
That's everything. That's so, that's fascinating.
Being a mom is one of being a parent.
That's a whole job and a half.
It's 20 jobs
Yeah.
in one while doing another job. One job you get paid for, the 20 jobs you don't get paid for.
It's society.
Showing up 24/7 for another human being
Yeah.
who relies on you for everything. I'm not just talking about physical things
Yeah.
like food, making sure you tuck them in and
100%.
relies on you for how they're
That's
going to
so
see the
wild.
world for the
100%.
rest of their lives, how they're going to show up for the rest of their lives. And you think you've been doing nothing? Well, I told her that. And
You were there for the kill. You're like, here, let me tell you who you are.
because she's remarkable.
She is
So
remarkable.
sometimes we're actually doing remarkable things, but we're looking at other people.
I'm not thinking that what we're doing matters.
That was such a great conversation. You can connect more with Eno Georgette Inwek on her website at enoinwek.com. That's ENOINWEK.com, or on her social media channel at Eno Inwek. That's the end of our show. I'm Zoe Smiles, and this is Love Letters to Joy. Today's episode's executive producers are Zoe Smiles and Love Smiles. Production company, Love Your Sunshine Media. Directed by Mun Singh. Editing and assistant camera by Louis Wynn. Host, Zoe Smiles. Guest, Eno Georgette Inwek of Lyrics of Hope. Makeup provided by Estelle Descade and Joanna Fev. Behind-the-scenes coverage provided by The Weekend Project. Motion graphics, Dang Bang. Theme song, written and produced by Heaven Shamba and Ben Hara. Special thanks to Jason Siegel, Ian Erskine, Courtney Acuna, You and Me Media, Dana Blair, Boba Chacha in Pasadena, Sunright Tea Studio in Pasadena, and you.